can hear. Fabulous. Don't know if you want to hear me today. Good morning, one and all. Swiss yen, yep. Pound CAD, yep. And that's all I've got on at the moment. What the Aussie? I've only just got in for the day, so Aussie Kiwi took us out. Now it's back above 12, and now we've got divergence, even though some of us probably got in a little too early. Well, look at that. It might be set up for tomorrow. Pound CAD, you're currently long, high test on Friday, testing 127 fib. Was it testing 127 fib? Which one? 127 fib. Yeah, I suppose it is testing 127 fib when you look at it like that. So you can move your stop up underneath that, for sure. Yeah. Yep. You can put it up under there. That's the right thing to do. Right thing to do. There is no wrong in this business. It's only wrong to lose money. Okay. I do have 30 emails. Shit. Okay. Yeah, well, let's go through the charts. Aussie, yeah, well into phase one is coming to an end. There's a little bit of divergence starting to show here from that move to this move. So any sign of buyers, you might be looking at that. Aussie CAD, nothing going on there yet. Aussie Swiss, that was a good move. A couple hundred pips. Finally broke out of that little range. Getting close to testing this. Is overdone. Are you at the end of not there at the end of it yet, and there's no divergence yet, so Aussie yen. I think the central bank, Australian RBA, might be selling Aussie dollars. Not liking that at all. Looks very different to what this one. It's a low test. And the signal is a high test. Who's right? But we do have divergence now. Just need to see the buying price action. Aussie Sing, same as Aussie dollar and Aussie, all the Aussie crosses, pretty much. Minor divergence there, the Class C divergence. Sorry about my gravelly voice. A couple of reprobates took me out to lunch yesterday. Nice high test on the CAD. Clear divergence. You could say that's a horizontal as well. It's got everything there to set up for a short, except for price. No sign of sellers yet. Geez, I'm glad I got stopped out of that on that spike. That's so much fun. Did anyone get short this again? Yeah, well done. It's gone nowhere. It's in the middle of a trend, going nowhere. It's going very strong. It's looking good. Which way are you going? Anyone got any ideas as to which way this is going? US dollar is looking weak. Setting up for a short against the CAD, a long against the short against the Aussie. Well, you'd want to be buying this going long. Yeah. Good luck trying to stay in. They need the US dollar cross though. Nice little train track doing that again. It's always a bit hard on a Monday morning to find intraday trades, isn't it? Getting close to that $1.80, mate. Getting close. Don't know if I could sell pound, but it looks like a shorting opportunity. Clear divergence here. Most sellers. I just can't bring myself to sell a pound, but there's a shorting opportunity for those who like to do that. Knock, knock. Come on. Thank you. It's got to turn around soon, doesn't it? So happy I got taken out of that at break even too. All these beautiful trades I had going got taken out by... Frustrating. What's this useless thing doing? Gonna give me an entry? Come on. Not yet.
Hey guys, did you get that message about one after the end of this week? Vanessa's called me. Yeah, YouTube, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Inspirational, isn't it? What about passion goods? You have to get a bit. Yeah, they're all pretty good. Are they?
No. I'm not saying anything except for the pound Swiss guys, unless you've got something. Maybe the dollar CAD. Put that there. Huh? That's why I put that there.
YouTube, yeah, it's a different generation. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, the difference between generations.
Those who are range trading this, you're just sitting pretty. Okay, so I don't see anything really except for pound Swiss. I can't see myself selling that. Dollar CAD. Nice test of the horizontal in that. Explain the divergence on the pound Swiss. You've got several highs, or quite a, let's call it 148, is a nice round number. Yeah, nice round number across here, and then you've got, you see the momentum is quite a bit lower. Yes, this is a couple of pips higher, but literally it's, the market's come back up to test 148 again, but there's no momentum behind the move.
Guys, can I see something up? Like, I'm just frightened they're going to be a bit low.
Okay.
30th of February, we're going to put them up on the corner.
What checklist we need to use for double, triple bottom? Would it be similar to the trend reversal but without the target? Do we need to have a fib extension level? I presume you're talking about Aussie, Kiwi. And yes, you still need to, you would need to have extensions. You need to have some reason why the market's reacting. Yeah. Doji, reversal bar, and Swiss yen. This is the second time somebody said this is a doji in the Swiss yen. I don't know how that can be a doji bar. It's not even a reversal bar. There is no reversal bar since we got in. Got in on this day here, and there's not one reversal bar yet. There's two buyer bars, which obviously moved my stop up underneath. I could probably even move it up a bit further. But there's no reversal bar. I don't know where people are getting that from. Okay. Lower highs, lower lows. Yes, in this cycle here. Below 50 and 200. Yep, I can't see them on your chart, but I know they are. Only 250 was support, now it's resistance. Okay, no divergence. No, not yet. Next level of support is 90. No fib retracement. Okay. Okay. CAD Swiss equity clock considerations haven't played to my current short trade. Okay, look, you've gone through reasonable assumptions, but you're talking about CAD Swiss and there's no Swiss in here. Unless you're talking about CAD and then you're talking about Euro. Excuse me. Setups, Euro pound. Range reversal. Okay. Well, if you're doing a range reversal, you need to get an extension in there. So, Euro pound. Yeah, there's an extension there of sorts. And if you go in there, you've got an extension as well. Okay. What you've drawn is retracements. These are retracements, yeah? RSI, divergence. It's a bit of a higher high. Higher low, sorry. Flat EMAs, yeah, 200 EMA is flat. Entry. Well, whether it's a range or a phase two, that's what you need to decide. Perhaps do two trades of the same size. I mean, basically halving your trade and put a target of the 50 on one of them and let the other one run. Pound. Trend reversal. Okay, so you got the fib right this time. 63 big resistance, yes. Waiting on sellers, yep. No divergence yet. There's no divergence yet, so be careful of that. Pound CAD short. I'm long it. Why do you want to short it? Again, there's no divergence. Yes, we're in a sell zone, but you're just not seeing that sellers there yet. That oil price, oil may rise in coming days. Okay, which would strengthen the CAD. Yeah, which would make this reverse. Yeah. If that bar's for real, I don't think we'd be trading. You don't want to be in that. Short it. Don't know about that either. I think the Kiwi's under a lot of pressure at the moment. I'd be looking to go long the Euro Kiwi, not short it. Um, yes, divergence there. If you're looking at that, yep. Maybe Tuesday, yeah. Well, this is a huge seller bar in itself. Obviously, a nice test bar. So you could sort of look at that and be safer to wait for Tuesday, though. I agree. Okay, pound Swiss, is it in a range or a trend? Well, I see 48 as being a bit of quite a key resistance. Is it in a trend? I'd have to say no at this stage. Quite literally, that 48 is quite a strong resistance, and you'd probably say this double bottom here, to back down to, whilst I'd love to get it back down to 40, but 43. With the pound CAD approaching the target sell zone, would you try to stop with every bar now? You can, if that's what you're doing. Would I? Not necessarily. Might look to move my stop underneath this high here, like up there. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. I entered the pound CAD on the 14th to 11th. Yeah, it's same as I was. I've since moved the stop to break even. Currently an extension name, but no divergence. Do you see a reason to move it into profit protection mode? You have a reason. There is a high test bar. It was testing, an extension level. That is a reason. Whether you want to use that reason or not is entirely up to you. I'll be doing it myself. As I said, I'll just go underneath this high here. Probably a break even on this one. Am I going to put it up right up there? No, I don't want to get taken out of this trade. I think there's still a lot more on the upside, and I don't want volatility to knock me out of it just yet. But you do have a reason, and that reason is the test bar. And if you want to trail it after every single bar, that's your prerogative. Right. Swiss yen short. Another one I'm long and you want to sell. Why do you want to keep trading against me? Look, you've got a little bit of divergence here by the look of it. You can see that. This is a bit lower. You certainly, we're overextended and well in the every right for this market to stop running as it is. And that's why I've got moved my stop up underneath that. There's no divergence in RSI. No divergence there either, it's still going. So momentum is clearly still running with this, and therefore, whilst we might look to get short, and I'd roll out of my long and into a short position, and then back into a new long trade, but not yet. Unsure about the horizontal. I've got one around $1.1280 for some reason on my weekly. Just looking at my weekly. I've got that horizontal there. Not sure why. It looks like it's that high there, so it's pretty weak. 1990. Pretty weak indeed. Hasn't been here for 20 years. Strong resistance on the pound Kiwi. Yeah, $2. Yeah. So happy I bought it and got taken out. Still waiting another buyer and sellers to enter the market. Correct. So still looking for divergence and selling before you can take that trade. But again, I think the Kiwis looking very weak, and as it should be. So no reason to be up where it's at. Strong horizontal RSI divergence. What's this? Dollar CAD? Yes. Fib extension. Yep. Fib extension. We've drawn that one there. Yeah, that'll do. It works well. Bearish sharp pattern. Yeah, we don't. That's a high test bar. So yeah, a lower high and a lower low, and you would have a trade on your hands for tomorrow morning. Drawing your fib there from that high to that low. Look, yeah, that'll do. Divergence, yes. Divergence, yes. Triple top with MACD divergence, yes. Higher high with RSI divergence in the last part. Yep, all looking good. Dollar Sing. %, fib double top with RSI divergence. Yeah, it's double short the US. Yeah, if you like, go for it. Your analysis is correct. Euro pound. Back again on the Euro pound. You done it. Divergence indicators incorrectly. Well, let me have a look at it. I really didn't see an entry on this. I can see what you're looking at. Is that divergence there, and it is a similar high. It's like the pound Swiss, yeah, where it's a similar. It's not exactly a lower or the same, but it's similar. It's close enough. Yeah. So absolutely, all you need to see is the buying intention. CAD Swiss trade management. Initial stop loss. Jeez. Scaled out and closed 50% of my position above high impact news on Friday evening. Okay. Yeah, look, if you think the news is going to be a concern, you can scale out. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Initial stop loss. I'm not sure why you've chosen the new stop loss level. Well, it only looks to be about 20 pips or 10 pips difference. Might as well leave it where it was in the first place. I wish I'd left mine up there. Aussie yen trend continuation. Above the moving averages, support of the moving averages, horizontal.
Yes, it is. I guess it is.
6. What's 6? What's 6? Bullish price action, I hope.
I haven't opened my December's yet. I'm going to shortly on Wednesday
666 was 6. You can move yours. Where do you move your stop loss? Wherever you want it to. So what has he got here? We've got horizontal support. Horizontal RSI convergence, yes. Bullish price action again. 7, 8. The 1. You can't have the 1, mate. The 1 doesn't make any sense. That's just a double bottom then. Trend line support. Seriously? Yeah. And it's not the 1, it's the 786 by the look of it. If you started that here and drawn it there, which is the right thing to do, the 786 is your support, not 1. You don't want 1 as your support because that's just a double bottom.
That's fine. I discussed the background. Sound fine.
Yeah. So 786 is your support. You don't want, if it's the 1, then you can't say you've got fib support, and that's all right. You know, fibs. Whilst fib is good to have, whilst fib is good to have, it's only 1 out of 4. Okay. 2 consecutive seller bars. Yes, you can move your stop after 2 consecutive. US dollar, Aussie dollar, US dollar. Not set up, potentially setting up. Divergence. Yeah. How do I know in this case is not, do we need to have RSI divergence indicating a trend reversal? Well, the question is, we have RSI divergence, but if today is a lower low, then RSI could fall to a lower low as well. How do I know this is not the case? And we do indeed have RSI divergence indicating. How do I know this is not the case? And we do indeed have RSI divergence indicating a trend reversal. Well, you don't know. That's why if this was a higher high and it was buying, then that would be your indication that you've got divergence and that the buyers are back in the market and you're trading this long. Okay, if it's obviously making lower lows and the sellers are still dominant and you're not, there's no entry, and you'll not be looking to take a trade. Given the above, I will consider phase 2 on the Aussie daily on a basis it might actually be a phase 1 on the weekly. Okay, interesting. Phase 1 on the weekly. It's still in phase 1, heading down. I see this as a phase 1 long. Not that I use the cyclicity really on the weekly. I'm just looking at using it for horizontals and support lines. We're not trading the 4 hour when the daily doing a phase 2, okay? You're 4 hour, you're trading the 4 hour as a phase 1, not as a phase 2. The only time you're doing it as a phase 2 is when it's rolling from, the daily's rolling from 2 into 1. At this point in time is up here is the only time you trade a 4 hour, not trade a 4 hour down here. Okay. Q&A, 2 potential trades. Euro dollar. Euro-dollar. Swing low. If you're drawing this fib, these are your resistance lines. And if you wanted to go long, do you want resistance lines? I wouldn't want resistance lines if you're going long. These green ones here of this is your support. Yeah, the 50 as a support level. Absolutely. But you don't want to be showing your resistance unless you're saying that that's a target. Brown is extensions. Extensions, it says 786, doesn't look like extensions, but with those numbers. But you're looking for your extension up here, I presume, is what you're trying to tell me. Yeah. Okay. Well, man, I hope it gets up there. That'd be great, Jade. Great lesson learned on the CAD yen. How I showed if you feel it's of value. I did my analysis and marked up my targets. It looked good. Like most of us, I got a little bruised by the nonsense going on the fitness to follow my rules and lifting my stop below. I placed it much higher. Stopped out unnecessarily and on a march past my target. It's just CAD yen. Wow. Yes, that's it. Is it the CAD yen? Looks like the pound CAD. Sure it's the CAD yen and not the pound CAD? It looks like the pound CAD. It's around the prices of the pound CAD. Okay. Yeah. Reversal bar. It's a good lesson there. Dollar CAD. Yes, I think this is looking to set up for a short. We certainly have the divergence ready for it. Triple top. Yeah. We're looking good. Aussie Kiwi trend reversal. Yeah. I'd love to get back into this again. But it's not showing me any reason to at this stage. On the weekly chart. Yeah. Weekly chart is very bearish, isn't it? Does this count as breaking the support at $1.12? Well, you'd have to say yes to that. It's certainly testing it, giving it a good old run for its money, but you know, things can go through supports and resistance by a fair distance. So, for argument's sake, the pound Kiwi, or even theirs, went past it by 30 pips. Pound Kiwi went past 2 by a number of pips here, 80 or 85 pips or so. So whilst that's a nice round number and you'd consider that the support or resistance line, just as you would with $1.12, it could go through this by maybe even 100 pips before it turns around. What we do see, though, is even though the sellers dominated in the close of business on Saturday morning, that there's momentum divergence there in pretty much all your indicators. Right? So now we just need price action to confirm that. And whilst yes, weekly has breached at a lower low, there's a huge divergence here too. Okay. Right, that's it for today. I'll be in better form tomorrow for you. You guys have a good day. Happy trading. Chat tomorrow. Oh, wait up. I notice your MACD different colours. Can you explain these? Ah, you're still at the bar at 9 p.m. Well done. MACD, different colours. These are, mate, that's just a setting in eSignal. It says histogram colouring. Fast, slow. Yeah, if it's above, it's fast, and above, it's slow. Hell, I don't know what that means. Obviously here it's slow, prices not moving. There it's moving faster. Prices dropping more rapidly. Here it's slow, and there it's dropping more rapidly. Alright guys, chat tomorrow.